One time when I was working at my parents' Subway, I had a customer that came in and basically ordered one of the most loaded sandwiches I've ever made in my life. We're talking double meat, bacon, guac, the whole 9 yards, but when it came time to ring him up, the man forgot his wallet. Now, this is a lot more of a common thing than you would think, and I'll admit, I've gone to a few places before where I've forgotten to bring my wallet too. In 2023, this shouldn't be a problem because of Apple Pay, and you could honestly just Venmo me or something, but back then, I could completely understand. So I understood the man's perspective, and I already had a line brewing, so I just told him to come back later and we would get it straightened out. And well, apparently later never came. I asked my coworkers the next day if he had come back, then the day after that, and then a week later, and I quickly realized this man is never coming back to pay for a sandwich. I have been bamboozled. Now, I understand that life gets in the way and that sometimes we forget about our owed debts, but for a sandwich, you couldn't pay for a sandwich. Or maybe I should just give him the benefit of the doubt and understand that he forgot. Well, a few years passed and obviously I forgot about the entire thing. I mean, who holds a grudge over a sandwich for years? That's like a different level of hater. But one afternoon, 4 years later, a man walked into the restaurant and I could have sworn that I knew him from somewhere. This is literally 4 years later, okay? And while I'm helping the customers in line in front of him, I couldn't help but think, where on earth do I know this man from? I must have looked up at the man from the customer I was helping like 20 times, but for the life of me, I just could not figure out where I had seen this guy before. Was he famous? Was he an old friend or an old teacher? Maybe he was just another random customer and I was mistaken. Anyways, I helped the customers in front of this mysterious man and it's finally his turn to order. And as the words came out of his mouth for his turkey and cheese with extra meat, bacon, and guac, it was as if a feeling of PTSD strung all throughout my body. I knew it was this dude, and not only did I know it was this dude, but this dude owed me money. I still remember to this day the $11.48 debt that he never paid me back. So imagine the craziest feeling of remembering this random dude that never paid for a sandwich from 4 years ago, and here you are again right in front of the same man with his debt unpaid. I mean, it's not really a big deal if I'm being honest, looking back now, but it's about the principle. Anyways, in that moment, what are you supposed to do? I mean, I'm not the mob. I'm not going to tell this guy I'm going to break his legs over a sandwich, but I had to do something. Honestly, it was entirely because of pride, and that's probably the dumbest reason for us to do anything in life, but it was pride for mistreated and misrepresented Subway workers everywhere. Anyways, after basically being in a trance for 30 seconds, probably just staring into this guy's soul, I realized that I had done nothing, and I started making this man's sandwich very quickly. Pretty standard sandwich, and by the end of it, I was sort of just ready to move on, but I thought it would be funny to play a little prank on this hooligan. Just kidding, he wasn't a hooligan, he was a very nice guy. But as I went to ring up his order, I thought it would be a good idea to ring up 2 sandwiches instead of 1. I wasn't actually going to charge him for 2 sandwiches, but I figured it could be a funny way to laugh it off and just be like, haha, I remember you, scumbag. I mean, obviously, I just charged him for 1, but if he wanted to pay for the second sandwich, I would have no problem with that too. And as I went to ring up the 2 sandwiches to play this prank, he instantly foiled my plan. Immediately, he said to me, why are you ringing me up for 2 sandwiches instead of 1? And without hesitation, I screamed, you have a debt that you owe me from 4 years ago. No, I'm just kidding. I froze up. I completely froze up. And I calmly said, I remember you, sir. I remember the sandwich that you never paid for. And I'm not even kidding. This man says to me that he just moved here from Pennsylvania and has never stepped foot in this Subway store before. So my prank instantly backfired and I was now the absolute scum of the earth. It's okay. You can boo me. And so after a few seconds of just pure horror and realization from the mistake that I made, I decided to apologize 1 million times. And to be honest, the dude was just hysterically laughing at me. He thought the situation was incredibly funny. So I ended up offering him a free cookie for the mistake. And this man tells me that he forgot his wallet. I'm just kidding. That would have been an incredible twist to the end of the story. But there is a wholesome ending. After this interaction, he literally started to become a more frequent customer and he came in at least 3 times a week. I love you, Greg. I'm still not sure if you're the same customer from 4 years ago, but watch another video if you enjoyed this one and turn on bell notifications so you know when I upload more.